Hello everybody. Today we're going live to talk about articles. Not the things you read in newspapers, but those little words before nouns. In fact, today we're going to look at the non-article, when to use no article. So let me just put this up as we welcome people here. When to use no article. Now let me explain my method here because I think it's important for you to understand. Articles in English are really difficult to master at the highest level. Some of the basic rules help us get to about 50 or 60% pretty quickly, but then it becomes difficult. So what we're going to do is isolate the sort of the field, and we're going to look at just the use of no articles, when to use nothing. And in this way, when we isolate pieces of knowledge, it's easier then to sort of understand. And in the coming weeks, we can focus on the indefinite article and the definite article. So we have a few options here. You can see here the nomenclature. Nomenclature is a very fancy word for naming, the naming of articles. We refer to a and an as the indefinite, as indefinite articles. We refer to the as the definite article. And then we have no article. That would be what we're going to focus on today, no article. So when to use no article, we're going to go ahead and do that. So if you struggle with articles, this is going to be something that can be very helpful. So we're going to look at the most common and go down to the least common. And the reason we do that is because, maybe, can people hear me? Let's see. I think they can hear me. So we're going to look at the most common examples because those are quite naturally the most important, and then work our way down to the least common of these rules. So let's just take a look here at the first one. I want to apologize. This is the letters are very small. Hello, Almas. Very, very small, and I apologize. I will work on making them bigger. I don't know why they're so small. They're very big on the PowerPoint. So no article is used when referring to things in general. So this is the biggest rule, the one rule you want to know about. The plural nouns. If you have a plural noun, children love toys. Books, plural, are valuable. And then uncountable nouns also don't require, if it's used generally, and in most cases, don't require any sort of article. Information, honesty, knowledge. Knowledge is important. Knowledge of English is important for your career and essential to this channel, which is devoted to the English language. Now, what I'd like you to do, if you want to have some interaction, is to give me examples in each of these different rules. So we're going to go slide by slide, a different rule, and then you can go ahead and give us an example. Advice, that's right, advice is important. Excellent advice is very helpful. So if you want to give examples like we have here, then we can go ahead and I will comment on your examples. So that's the first rule with plural nouns, and the most important, plural nouns and uncountable nouns. Now let's go to another one. When we talk about school subjects and languages, now we're talking about languages a lot because we're learning English. We're not learning the English, we're learning English. We're also learning, if you're in school or university, probably you're learning history or maths in England. So this is really important. So subjects are things kids or students are always talking about. We don't put an article, normally we don't put an article before languages and subjects. What languages do you know? Let's practice and not use an article before them. So what languages do you speak? I speak English, a bit of Spanish, not the Spanish, and a bit of German and other languages. Let's go to the next one. Now we have food. We don't say the article before meals. We don't say the breakfast or the lunch or the dinner. We say breakfast, lunch, or dinner. So breakfast is my favorite meal. What's your favorite meal? What's for dinner? Not what's for the dinner. What's for a dinner? And I think these are basic rules at the moment. It'll get a little bit more difficult later. Next we have, now I apologize, the first two examples are very small. I don't know why on my PowerPoint they're all the same, but they're very big in two instances. So let's look at the big ones. I live in Rome, not the Rome. They visited Brazil. Thank you. Eid Mubarak from, happy Eid Mubarak from Bangladesh. Breakfast, that's right. So Brazil, Rome, cities, towns, most countries don't take an article. So France, you don't say I went to the France or the Mexico. But now these are single names. If you have countries that have two names, United Kingdom, United States, then we do use an article. The United Kingdom and the United States. What about your country? Do we use an article with your country? Why don't you write us and tell us and practice that? So, I will look to see what country you're from. From Azerbaijan, not the Azerbaijan. Very good. All right, let's move on to the next rule. Now we're going to go into ones that are moderately common. These are ones we use, but not as common as the first ones. Hello, Kazakhstan. Nice to see you. New Zealand. Now, this is interesting. I visited New Zealand, 2 words, but no article is required. So not all 2-word countries require an article. I went to Costa Rica, no article there. So there are, but if you're going to have an article, it's generally with countries with 2 or more words. The Maldives. Now, this is an exception, isn't it? It's in the plural, the Maldives. And this is a set of islands. And yeah, I visited the Maldives. Here we have here's an exception, a single noun, a name of a group of islands that we use the. Very good. Turkmenistan, Morocco. Obviously, we don't need to use Iraq. We don't need to use the article. Let's go to the next one. The next rule, you can continue giving me examples and we can talk about it. With titles, now this is, most of us know many of these, but let's go through the rest. Dr. Smith, I'm not visiting the doctor. You visit the doctor, but you don't visit the Dr. Smith. You visit Dr. Smith. You follow the professor, if you know which one you're talking about, but you normally follow Professor Corton's Instagram account, which all of you or most of you are doing. Thank you. Aunt, your aunt or uncle, it's not the. And the president. Now, interestingly, if you're talking about the president, then we know it's one individual. But if we mention his or her name, then we don't use the article. President Mandela was a great leader. The president was a great leader. Excellent. Any questions, you can write them in the comments and I'll try to answer them. Let's go to the next one. Hello, Armenia. All right, the next one, we're going through these quite quickly. This is an interesting list here. When referring to these institutions, hospital, university, school, church, or prison. I hope we don't have to use prison very much. He's in prison. I'm at church. Now, if you have a particular church in mind, then it's different. But we're talking about in general now. When you use these terms generally. So, he's in hospital. This is the one exception, so I'll hold that till the end. I'm at school. I study. I'm in school, or I'm at university, or I'm studying in university. We don't generally need to use the article with school or university when we're using it in a general sense. Now, hospital is the exception. In Britain, they don't use the article. He's in hospital. But in the United States, if you've learned American English, you will know that the Americans say the. He's in the hospital. So this is the one distinction that's a common distinction between British and American English. Brits say he's in hospital. Americans say he's in the hospital. Which one did you learn? The hospital or hospital? I'm curious. All right, let's move to the next one. The next example, not as common. Certain expressions of frequency, certain expressions of frequency. Okay, February Chills has asked a question. We'll look at that in just a minute. Okay, here we go. The hospital, a few of you. Hospital in a few other cases. We don't say on university, we say at university. That's right. So I can see that some of you have learned the American approach to English and the others have learned British. An American could tell you this. What about this word? A European, I'm not sure what that word is. We have a question, so let's look. Aha, okay. So we have a question here. Let's just see. Let's answer it. So if you can see the question someone's just asked, just now there was a statement, Japan is an island nation. Here the article an is used, but it's not used before Japan, it's used before nation. Japan, there's no article before Japan, so that's fine. And that's and island nation is a definition of Japan. All right. If we are a patient in the hospital, we use the. So Gunai has had a very good comment here. I'm in the hospital. Wait, I'm in hospital. No, if you're a patient and you're speaking British English, you would say I'm in hospital. So in this case, it wouldn't matter, I don't think. All right, let's continue. Let's do verbs of frequency. No, it's not. Tatiana said, I thought in the hospital's British, it's American. It's the other way around. Hello, Ismail. So in verbs, certain verbs of expressions of frequency, we have once a week, 3 times a year, twice a day. We don't say the twice or the once. We say once, twice, or thrice. 3 times is thrice. Not very common. 3 times is more common. All right, how I speak properly, the accent. Well, we'll talk about accents. Actually, I want to get your opinion on this, but we're going to do some pronunciation practice as well. So if any of you are interested, we will do some pronunciation during these lives, upcoming lives. So here we have sports. Now, a lot of you play sports, so this will be interesting. We don't use articles before most sports. She plays football or tennis, not the tennis. What sport do you play? Practice using the non-article. Obviously, that's a bit of a myth, but practice using it in the proper way. So what sport do I played? I wrestled when I was younger, Greco-Roman wrestling. We don't use an article there. Football, baseball, track and field. We don't use articles with sports. What sport do you play? Let's hear. All right, let's go to the next. We're nearly finished. This is, well, not quite. We have quite a few to go, I guess. Referring to states of being, where you're physically located. She's at home, she's at work, I'm in bed. We don't use articles, the or unless you have a very specific reason to do it. So if you said, I'm in a bed, that would tell the listener it's not your bed. If you'd say, I'm in bed, people know it's your bed. But if you add that one letter, suddenly you become mysterious. I'm in a bed. And people, your friend will say, whose bed? Where are you? I'm worried. So one letter can change the meaning drastically. If you change the meaning drastically, you change it greatly. So, linking verbs, that's a very good suggestion. So, where are you at the moment? Practice telling us where you're at and not in use without an article. I'm in bed. Very good. Hello, everyone. I'm trying to say hello to as many of you as possible while still continuing or carrying on. Now, this is one, those of you who travel a lot, in your city or abroad. Abroad is a nice word for foreign travel. You'll be using this, the state of being, So in airports, stations, train stations, bridges, and parks. So I'm at Heathrow Airport. Heathrow Airport, of course, is London and England's main airport, one of the busiest airports in the world. The Grand Central Station I'm at, though, I'm at Grand Central Station. I'm at or on or walking over. Actually, this is mistaken. The Golden Gate Bridge uses a the, and I want to apologize. I'm on a bridge. I'm on the bridge. Bridge is wrong, and I should have caught that before. I'm in Central Park. I'm in Central Park. Lilith is in bed listening. Nice, thank you, Lilith. Gulsa, nice to see you. At home, I'm in the kitchen. Tatiana is giving us one with an article. That's right, you wouldn't say in kitchen, but you do say at home. In the kitchen, in the bedroom. So you use articles with the various rooms, but not the apartment itself, not with the home. With the apartment, you use the articles. I'm in the flat or I'm in a flat. You wouldn't say I'm in apartment. I'm in the apartment. Or I'm in my apartment. All right, let's continue. All right, here we have mountains, lakes. I'm on a balcony. Someone, Dilsek has mentioned balcony. No, I'm on a balcony. At his home or in his home, both are fine. I'm in my bedroom. These possessive pronouns are very common. I'm in my bedroom. Someone asked, could you explain this? I've just lost it. Do you conduct speaking club in the summer? Yes, I do. Speaking club is running all year round. Please join. You can ask me for details on it. You get professional. We just had a speaking club meeting for the advanced group. Tomorrow we have an intermediate and for business English. So we have a speaking club for those interested in business English, intermediate, pre-intermediate, and then advanced and upper intermediate. Very good. That's right, I am in the kitchen. That's right, I'm in the bedroom. Now with specific rooms, we use the article. All right, let's continue. Here we have mountains, lakes, and islands. Have you ever been to Mount Everest? That's the name of a mountain. I'm on Lake Tahoe, not on the. Now, the Taj Mahal is an exception here. I'm at the Taj Mahal. We do use the article here. This is an exception. Someone's on the balcony, and that's very nice. Taj Mahal does use the, that's an exception. A well-known exception, I might add. And the Great Wall of China is another sort of monument. Sicily, so when we talk about islands in general, Sicily is not, we don't say the Sicily, but we do say the Great Lakes if there are many lakes, the Andes Mountains if it's a set of mountains, and the Philippines or the Caribbean if it's a set of islands. The Maldives is a set of islands. We use the before the noun, the proper noun. So I'm climbing a mountain, you could say that, but these are proper names now. Individual names of mountains, we don't generally use the article, but there are notable exceptions, I'm on my bed, that's right. Now there's, interestingly, someone who's written I'm on my bed. Do you know the difference between I'm on my bed and I'm in my bed? Because in English, there's a difference. I'm on my bed, I'm in my bed. If you're on your bed, you're on top of it. You're not ready to sleep yet, you're just lying on it, maybe reading a book. But if you're in bed or in your bed, you can say in bed, then that means you're under the covers and ready to go to sleep, and you might be bothering them at the moment. No, not in the carpet. Only bugs are in the carpet. I hope they're not in your carpet. But if anyone's in the carpet, it's a bug, or food is in the carpet if you spill food. But people are on the carpet. That's right, in bed, under a blanket. Someone's asked about going home and going to home. I don't feel much of a difference there. I'm going home. I'm going to home. Going home is more natural here. Let's move on. Good questions. Thank you for asking those. You can continue. I'll try to answer as many as you want. If you want to put the question in the question box, then it will for sure be answered. Here we go. I want to apologize. This is very small. Next and last, I don't really want to talk so much about this, except that, no, I'm going to move on. I don't think this one, I don't like this. There are too many exceptions here. So let's look at this one. We use, well, with next and last, we can say next time and the next time. So when you use next and last time, it has two different meanings. So if I say next time we meet, that's general. The next time is more specific. You might even have a date set. If you talk about last time we met, and the last time we met mean exactly the same thing. Last time we met, we had a great time. The last time we met, we had a great time. This is an instance where both forms are correct, and this is very confusing for the learner. In my mind and on my mind, that's really interesting. If something's in your mind, you're thinking a lot about it. If it's on my mind, you're also thinking about it, but it can be something worrying. Could be. They're on my mind a lot. You often worry about people who are on your mind. All right. Thank you all. Do we have any questions before we conclude? Let's go ahead and take a look at we have a questions one here at the end. There we go. All right, very good. Do we have any questions before we go? Why Buckingham Palace, no article? That's a great question. You know, some of this is just tradition. I went to Buckingham Palace. We don't say the, and it's a proper noun, so that's partly why, but it's two words, and oftentimes we use the article with two words, but not Buckingham Palace. Sometimes it's just tradition or practice, and the general practice or tradition over the years has evolved to where we don't use it. Everyone knows where Buckingham Palace is, so an article perhaps wasn't necessary. I'm going to Buckingham Palace. Has anyone been to Buckingham Palace? I've never been inside. I've only been around it. All right. Well, you're very welcome, Marcimar. On time and in time are different. I have a video on that, but if you're on time, you're not late. If you're in time, it's you arrive so that you can do a task. So you've arrived in time for dinner, so you'll be able to eat. In time and on time are a little bit more difficult. I will just tell you on time is the most common. On time, not in time. In time has a very specific meaning. Oh, Eilina has been inside. Been there, but not inside. Someone's asked where I'm from. I'm from the United States. I studied in England, so I understand sort of American and British traditions. I currently reside in Europe, and so that's where my accent is from a little bit of Europe, England, and the United States. If I'm sleeping, can we say in the bed is right? No, I'm in bed. I'm in bed. Can I call you tomorrow? I'm about ready to sleep or go to sleep. Very good. All right. Well, thank you all for a very good meeting. If you have any other questions that I didn't get to, you can write me directly and I will try to answer it. Someone asked one question, any advice on order to improve writing or pronunciation? My advice on these is very similar. Practice, and if you have a chance, get good feedback. So write or speak. In the case of pronunciation, find people on YouTube that you really like their voice, or Instagram or wherever, and listen to them and try to repeat it. And I also found that if you record your voice, it's very helpful in revealing how you sound. All right, if there are other questions, I didn't actually get to some of the other ones. So my best advice for learning, thank you, Ritu. My best advice for learning how to improve for improving your accent or pronunciation is to listen a lot to people you like and then imitate them and record your voice and make comparisons. Your ear can help you a lot in this way. If you need professional help, then of course you'll need someone, maybe a private teacher. Thank you all for a very good meeting. Nice to see you. Have a good evening and speak soon. See you next Thursday. Every Thursday, the same time, join me for a different free language subject where you can improve your English. See you. Bye-bye.